iPhone 17 Pro Max needs no special introduction. It's the best from Apple with a 6.9-inch gorgeous display, a 5000 milliamps battery, and a unique aluminum unibody design. What more could you ask for? This is Apple's best for 2025. It starts at $1,200 USD for the 256 gigabytes version. So is this worth your money? More so if you have had an Android phone for years like me and you're looking to port to the Apple side. I've almost exclusively been on Android for 6 years now, but my last iPhone being the iPhone XR. Stick around, let me break down what's changing. This is my review of the iPhone 17 Pro Max, especially from a long-term Android user's perspective. Design is subjective like they say, but it's been a long time since we had a radically different iPhone design. The body is made from aluminum, which is tough enough, and the iPhone 17 Pro Max is built like a tank. Apple moved away from the titanium build, which is naturally more rugged. I do think this is going to last a long time, like iPhones usually do. Going with aluminum added some weight to the phone. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is 234 grams, which is heavier than the 16 Pro Max, for instance. So you're definitely going to feel the weight when you're using the phone for a longer time. The phone has a slippery design, sort of. I think one would need a case on this one. With the redesign also comes a new camera plateau that makes the phone very top heavy. It's hard to use the phone with one hand, partly due to the weight on the top side of the phone. Now, also due to the weight distribution, the UI navigation is tricky because the phone is huge with its 6.9 inches screen. You have to go across all the way to reach many items on the UI. More on the UI navigation problems later in the video, especially if you're used to Android's way of doing things. In terms of screen improvements, the screen is beautiful, the bezels are thinner than ever, and everything on screen looks so gorgeous. I have a Samsung S25 Ultra, which has a great screen, but honestly, out of the box, I like the vibe of the iPhone better. I have had to customize some options on the Samsung phone, for instance, to get things looking very good, but that's not the same with iPhone. iPhone just looked beautiful out of the box. It's the brightest iPhone ever at 3000 nits. It's much brighter than something like iPhone 16 Pro Max, which was 2000 nits. And this is the first iPhone ever to have an anti-reflection coating. Thanks Apple for bringing that in. This just makes everything on the screen a little more legible. When you're outdoors or under any light condition, the screen looks better with less reflections because of the anti-reflection coating. So thumbs up, Apple. So while we're at this, by the way, please give a thumbs up to the video so we can make more like this. So when it comes to battery life and the performance of the phone, in terms of battery, Apple upgraded the battery size with an 8% bump depending on the version you get. It's now around the 5000 milliamps range. For me, I easily got over a day of usage, and I think it's a very, very solid battery life. You have nothing to worry about, and you will charge less on the iPhone 17 Pro Max compared to my S25 Ultra, Samsung S25 Ultra, for instance. I honestly feel this is an upgrade on the battery life because I use the same apps on both phones and I get much more higher battery life on the iPhone. Also, on the plus side, you have Type-C charging ports, so compatibility with other brands' charger is super easy. The Pro Max phones have always had great batteries for years now, but this feels like next level. iOS is still super optimized, and while not actively using the phone, the battery drain seems a little like it's still a little less than Android. I know Android phones have come a long way, but this is my observation on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I think it's a great one. For the camera upgrades, the iPhone 17 has an upgraded selfie camera. It has been upgraded to 18 megapixel. It has a new center stage camera feature that allows you to take landscape pictures without awkwardly turning the phone to landscape mode. I think this is a brilliant feature. There's also an upgraded 8x zoom camera, 4x of it is optical. The camera is creamy. I will not disappoint right off the bat, and it doesn't. The pictures are crisp and social media ready. I think there's a little bit of yellow tint in many of the images, maybe because the phone is tending towards warmer tones by default, but you can choose different styles in the camera settings. For performance and the software features, the iPhone 17 Pro Max introduces a larger vapor chamber that cools down the phone, and performance has been solid. The iPhone 17 Pro Max can multitask, play any game thrown at it with relative ease while running cool almost all the time. Performance has always been the real gap between Android phones and iPhone in the past, with the iPhone significantly more optimized. I have had the S25 Ultra for 8 months now, and after switching to the iPhone 17 Pro Max, honestly, there's no significant difference difference. Both phones gave quite similar day-to-day performance in day-to-day usage, with everything buttery smooth. My impression after a few weeks with the iPhone 17 Pro Max is, while it's fast and smooth, Android has definitely caught up on a lot of performance and app quality gap, especially in the social media and productivity apps that I use day to day. I remember how the Samsung S10 was so clunky to use back then, while the iPhone XR was buttery smooth. It was day and night difference back then. Today, it's almost like S25 is smoother than the iPhone 17 Pro Max. That's to be corrected, but in terms of speed, animations, and responsiveness, iPhone is definitely no longer miles ahead for sure. I think it's a tie between both platforms now, and when it comes to a silky smooth user interface and app optimizations, especially for the most popular apps out there, you're good to go. iPhone 17 is great. If you're coming from Android, you would just not feel that much of an upgrade anymore. Yeah, so Android has traditionally been the one with customizations and options. iOS has caught up with Android a lot on customizations and ease of use options for the user. I barely have all the SDKs I had on iOS back then. On the iPhone 17 Pro Max, apps can be arranged the way you want. There's a lot of flexibility on the way the phone works generally, but the little quirks still there, mostly around things you're trying to achieve, simple things that you take for granted on Android. You cannot do it easily on iPhone. Like, for instance, turning off notifications for your apps, the sound notifications. On Android, it's simple. You press the volume key to reduce the volume of the phone, and you have options of what specifically to reduce. Is it the ringer volume? Is it the notification volume? Or whatever, pressing the volume key only reduces the ringer volume on iOS and does not reduce the notifications volume. So you have to dig around and still set one of the focus modes, maybe e.g. you turn on the do not disturb to achieve this. This is a frustrating user experience, especially for someone that is used to Android. From Android's perspective, I have to dig around a lot, but I could not find any other option. But on your positive side, once you set things on iOS, it's set and forget. So the overall vibe is the limited customization on iOS is still a thing. Another good example is resizing your keyboard. You take that for granted on Android. You can easily resize your keyboard and make it easy for you to easily type with one hand because you can make the keyboard larger. iPhone 17 is top heavy. It's difficult to hold the phone and type with just one hand without the phone falling off at intervals, especially while lying in bed. Option to make the keyboard bigger will definitely improve your one-handed usage and also reduce typos, making it harder for this expensive toy to easily fall off. The accessibility options like making the screen smaller or turning on one-handed keyboard or permanently increasing the keyboard size is an option that is just better if you ask me. So Apple, please add this feature. On the positive side, typing on iOS is such a joy now compared to 6 years ago. The swipe feature, the autocorrect is good. Kudos Apple. Thank you for that. iPhone 17 Pro Max launched with iOS 16, which brings new features like the brand new liquid glass, display, visual intelligence, poll creation in messages, and live translations. Many features. It's a good refresh from Apple, and this is also available on other phones so that are also upgradable to the iOS 26. There are no issues with contracts and accessibility on screen. Apple has started to roll out updates to fix this by giving users option to tone down the liquid glass effects and improve legibility. Overall, no huge complaints. iOS 16 is very stable, and I think it will only get better with updates. For conclusion, I think the iPhone 17 Pro Max is worth the hype. I think the level of refinement and finesse we have is as good as we have come to expect from any Apple flagship. And I think if you have an older phone and have the cash to spare, by all means, you should upgrade. If you're coming from an Android phone and you love to explore, there's a whole lot to explore in the world of iOS now than it was back then. A lot more options to play with. iPhone is closer to an Android experience than ever, so you're not going to feel like you're frustrated, but be prepared to learn and unlearn. So if you like this review, thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. More of these comparisons will come up. I have the iPhone 17 Pro Max and the S25 Ultra to compare in much more details. Stick around. Thank you. Bye.